A fair amount of stuff has changed in this tank over the past couple of weeks. We've had some good things, we've had some bad things, we've got some new products to try out down here, and we've got some new equipment to add to the tank. Let's go. So we shall start with the most exciting, which is the addition of the ion director to this tank. Full disclosure, I was actually beta testing this ion director, and I have been for the past maybe 4 or 5 months. But I finally actually added it to the 250 setup. So it's now in the GHL stack. Those keen-eyed people that have been watching my updates may have actually seen it in a previous video, but I've tried to keep it on the lowdown because I did have to sign a non-disclosure agreement when I agreed to beta test this. So yeah, that's why I've not really mentioned it, but I will go into a lot more depth as to what this ion director does in another video. In brief, for those who don't know what an ion director is, it's similar to a KH director in the fact that it automatically tests your water, but this ion director uses an ion sensor, and it automatically tests daily calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and also nitrates. It's not like the Reef Bot or the Mastertronic where it uses off-the-shelf test kits to test it. It has an ion sensor. I've actually got another ion sensor over here. It's just the older one. But yeah, so that's how it does it. I'll go into a lot more depth with another video that I do with regards to this. It's not fully set up at the minute. I'm waiting on some more PVC tubing, to be honest, so I can't actually set this up until next week, but I'll probably just do a little setup video next week. We'll run some tests on the ion director and we'll look at it in a bit more depth. And I'm actually going to send off some ICP tests as well, so we can compare the results from the ion director to the results from the ICP test, and we can see how accurate it is. The ion reference bottles, reference solutions A and B are set down here. Currently they're going to be moved over to this side at some point. I'm kind of hoping that they change their bottle style to this bottle style. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have ion reference A, B and KH director reagent sat here. So I'll have A, B and the KH director reagent right here. So yeah, we'll see. I've looked on the GHL website and it does look like their illustrations of the bottles look more like this, but these were just sent over within the beta tester pack. So yeah, so that's the update on the ion director. Phosphates in this tank. Those of you who did watch one of my previous videos, I did a sump clean out video, sump maintenance video, and I did remove the NIOS torque reactor. That is still not in the tank, and I'm not running RoaPhos because I want to keep the sump nice and clean. The sump is a little bit dirty, but it's not half as bad as it was. That can just be wiped down with a sponge that I'll do next time I do a water change, which is probably next week. So yeah, I'm dosing Lanthanum Chloride on this tank. Let me show you where that is. Lanthanum Chloride is actually sat behind the dosing containers, and it is Quantum Phosphate Remover, which is a weak lanthanum chloride solution. So I'm currently dosing 4 milliliters per day on this tank, and it is removing the nitrates down to 0.02. With regards to how I'm dosing it, I've got it hooked up back here. The dosing line, it's dosed off this pump here. The dosing line runs all the way through the back of the tank, and it comes up through here. It comes across down this pipe, which is the emergency overflow pipe, and it dumps into the, I'm not sure if you're about to see the end of it, it's just at the end of my finger there. So that doses into the clarity. When you're dosing lanthanum chloride, you're best doing it into a filter sock, or you can either dose it into your clarity. Basically, it binds up the phosphates and it creates particles, and you want it to be filtered out of the system rather than running through the system. So that is why I'm dosing the lanthanum chloride into the clarity. I dose 24 times a day, and I dose 0.2 milliliter every time I dose, which is a total of 4 mil per day. Following on from my how to cool your tank video, it is hot as hell today. These fans, I think it's about 28, 29 degrees Celsius today. These fans are absolutely more than keeping up with the temperature of this tank. The one really good thing about summer in this place is I can keep all the windows open, and my pH on this tank is absolutely sky high. Well, I say sky high. During the winter, I actually struggle to keep this tank at 8.2 pH as my daily high, and currently I'm hitting a pH of 8.6. Let's see if we can't see it on the on here. So 8.49, and it's 16:44, so it's 4:45 in the evening, and my pH peaks at 7 p.m. So that should hit 8.6 today, or maybe 8.55. I do need to actually change out the media. You can see that the media is almost exhausted. So that's probably why it's not as high as it's been over the past couple of weeks. So I'll sort that out after I finish this video. So yeah, pH in this tank is great. Algae issues. I am having a couple of algae issues at the moment. You can see on this rock here, I have got a lot of lettuce algae. I'm not sure what it's down to be honest. It actually stemmed from when I reduced the nitrates in this tank. So nitrates were sitting at 25, I dropped them down to 5 parts per million over the course of about 2 or 3 weeks. Phosphates I'd reduced before that, and then all of a sudden I just get some algae growing all over this rock. I'm not sure if it is because it was a brand new rock that I put in this tank that it's just growing on. You can see the rest of the tank, there's not really any algae growing. So I think the white rock and the clean rock was the only place that this algae could grow. So I've been scrubbing that off with this little stiff bristled brush, and I've been doing that for about 2 weeks, because that has been like that for about 2 or 3 weeks. Stupidly, I actually was brushing it off and I pushed a little bit too hard and actually snapped this whole rockscape off the tank. So you can see here that I've had to add a bit more structural support, and I've got a lot more epoxy on the top. But yeah, that was pretty silly. But yeah, hopefully this algae should be gone in the next few weeks. After the algae has gone, I'm actually going to start dosing coral food, and the coral food is down here. I don't want to do it whilst the algae is still there. The food that I will be dosing is courtesy of Easy Reefs. They did kindly send me this out. They contacted me on Instagram. So Easy Reefs have sorted me out with some Easy Booster and some Easy SPS. They've also sorted me out with some fish food. As I say, coral food. I'm not going to start feeding the corals just yet. I would have waited till that algae is gone, but I can actually hook this up to the doser, because they've kindly sent out this Easy Connect. So that basically clips onto the end of this here, and you can hook it up to the end via your doser. I do have 2 dosing heads spare now, because the Ion Director has 1 spare at the end here, and the KH Director has always had 1 spare at the end. So yeah, I've got 2 spare dosing heads that I can start dosing these Easy Reef Booster and Easy SPS. Easy Booster and Easy SPS. But as I say, that's not going to be for a good 3 or 4 weeks until this algae has gone, and I'm sure that it's gone, because I don't want to spur any more growth of algae. That will pretty much do it for this week's update. I just wanted to quickly brief you on what's happening over the next few weeks. So we've got the Ion Director going to be installed in the next couple of weeks, fully installed. We're going to do some coral food, and that'll do it. So yeah, if you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a cracking week, guys.